Annette, what are we starting with?
What did you say?
What are we starting with?
Hey, and you're on lobby.
Good. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. I heard him before though. That's weird.
Yeah,
But-
you guys blipped out too.
We gotcha. Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay. We'll start, I think, with the kiosk is where Lindsay wants to go. You guys are ready?
Yeah, might as well.
So the last workshop, you left off the Bungnet kiosk, there were some questions, so I gave you guys some updated information. Reached out to the company that gave us a quote for the kiosk. They gave some supplemental information I thought was pretty interesting. So the machine, we talked about if it takes cash, it actually takes coin only. So they didn't recommend cash because you can only put in 4. But they do offer other payment options like pay by Google Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung. So, you know, if you don't have a credit card handy, most people nowadays have stuff on the phone. So I wrote that down. Solar versus power direct. So I talked about different options like you don't necessarily have to just have it sitting out in the middle of anywhere. You could put it in an enclosed area. I was thinking maybe the ticket booth, somehow fashion it like so you can drive up to it. So it's somewhat guarded and protected. So you can buy ones that plug into AC power. And they can trickle charge the batteries. So if you do have power outages, it's still going to operate. And I don't remember how many hours he said. You get a couple of days worth of battery just by trickle charging it. And then lighting. So I added the pricing. I think I added 2,000 for lighting. And there's a lot of different options out there for like solar type floodlights. There's even solar street lights. If we want to go with a wired hookup lighting. So I searched some pricing there and just threw in 2,000. And the only other cost update was they did say with the solar, you'll want to replace the battery every 3 to 5 years. So,
Which is how much do you think?
I put 300. It wasn't that much to replace it.
Of course.
So the initial cost is about 17,000, give or take, and then annually you're looking at 2,000 just to keep on top of any sort of maintenance repairs type deal. So
Is there a warranty with it?
I would imagine there is. It's the same company as the gate at Kennebunk Pond, so they gave us a 1-year warranty.
Is there a possibility of buying an extended warranty? We could put them on and everything. I think it would be worth it. There's a possibility to add.
Yeah, that's good. That could be, yeah.
Because it seemed like if we have an issue with the gate being past the warranty.
It does say that there's a 1-year warranty on it, reading the specifications. I'm sorry. I don't see anything about an extended warranty.
We can ask.
Also, Lindsay, on the quote that he gave, they have down at the bottom in blue, reoccurring monthly fees, $660.
Is that annualized?
It's annual because you have the Sentinel monthly fee for Tango, which is $55 per month, which adds up to $660 annually. So he did clarify that to me that that's an annual thing. It's not $660 a month. It's $55 per month.
Okay, that's, yeah, and that's what I had thought, but I was like, okay.
I think that's just your total recurring monthly fees total for the year is that, you probably pay for them up front, I would think.
Yeah, because it's included.
Yeah. And that's like, so you can access the kiosk remotely if there was an issue, or I could access it on a computer. It's part of that service. You could set the fees to anything you want. I did ask him about like senior versus veteran fees, and he said pretty much like you're relying on an honor system. So if you want to put, a senior fee of $10 or whatever that is, anyone could go up there and just say, yeah, I'm a senior. You don't have any way of without staffing it, you don't have any way of monitoring that. But they did say you can set whatever fees you want, if you want to do hourly, half rate, full rate, anything like that.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
on the back of the second page, one thing that caught my eye was most maintenance in the first 5 years is vandalism repairs. Now, I know we're speaking of not having this machine operate cash, but I think we would have to put machine contains no cash signs on it.
Yep.
Even at that, I think vandalism is a likelihood. You've got the issue of evasion. I think we're going to be asking our facilities and buildings director to be sort of like a meter maid to see whether or not people are honoring this.
Mhm.
Vandalism, theft, malfunctions. Yeah, any machine is subject to going on the snafu. As you mentioned, the same company as the folks that we got the gate for Retention Pond, and there was some operational issues with that. One thing that I also have a question about is who takes care of the picking up of the trash, general maintenance of bunking up. The machine obviously is not going to do that. So I propose at least we consider hiring a couple folks to man the booth, which we recently purchased and installed there at Bunking Up, and have the gate receipts, rental of the pines, and the rent that we can charge Y as amounts to defray the cost of those employees. Just very general figures I was using here. Bunking Up, I believe, will be in operation for about 90 days this summer, and just using the very broad figures, open 7 to 7, 12 hours a day. Compensation, make it generous, $20 an hour. 2 employees on duty at all times, but break that up in such a way that you have 4 employees doing 6-hour shifts. I didn't factor in, would have to, a little bit of overtime on that, but just a ballpark figure, and it's considerable, about $45,000, $46,000 for personnel to operate the booth. But again, taking a look at what was received in receipts last summer, rental of the pines, thank you for that information, Lindsay, it was about $6,000 thereabouts. And I think you said that the gate receipts were somewhere in the ballpark of 19,000.
That's what the Y claims. We don't know for sure.
Okay, and do I remember correctly that there are still a few reports from them that haven't come in yet?
Right.
No, okay. So let's go with the 19 grand for now. And if indeed the Y operates there, I think it's 9 weeks, 5 days a week for 45 days. So multiply that out by whatever fee that you were thinking of for them. And I recall the number 300 was being banted around. 13,500. Anyway, it would not completely cover the expense of hiring 2 people to man the booth at all times, but it would significantly defray it. Just a suggestion.
If the
I
Y
think-
agrees to rent it.
If the Y agrees to rent it.
Yeah, and they haven't gotten back to me. I have notified them since your last workshop, so I haven't heard anything. No, hey, I've received or anything. My only thing with the employees, when I've thought about staffing the booth, is managing those employees. So if there's call outs, if people don't show up, if there's interpersonal conflicts, who's dealing with that and how much resources that's taking up. So that needs to be factored in as well. As far as the trash and maintenance and stuff, your facilities director is already managing that. So he's already, since the Y, ended their contract, he'd been going out there periodically doing trash pickups. He's been pretty active with it. He's been actually going to all your parks and doing routine maintenance, check-ins, little stuff. So I think that would be really manageable for that person. I think once you get into managing part-time employees and you're saying 6-hour shifts to, you're talking what, 4 employees additionally?
Part-timers.
Yeah, I mean, you get into like time off requests, EPL balances, you know, someone's sick or they got a doctor's appointment, they're calling out, who's covering the shift? What if you don't have coverage? What if they don't show up?
As is the case with all employment.
I'm curious, how come, am I missing something? Joe, you're saying that it would be roughly, 40 something $1,000, but we could do a kiosk for half the price. And what am I missing?
Well, we're depending a lot on a machine to do a lot of human work for us. And we've already had the experience of the disappointment of the gates over at Kennebunk Pond, which are now just upright. And again, I think having someone's on site would obviate a lot of potential difficulties. You're not supposed to bring dogs there. You're not supposed to bring alcohol there. I'm not asking these part-timers to be cops by any means, but you'd have folks there to call the cops in the event of some misconduct. I'm just saying it's a fraction of the cost, but I think it's less than a fraction of the reliability. That's why I'm coming, Dave.
My only thought about that, and I'm just talking this through. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm talking it through. My only thought of that is if we're going to spend $46,000, then we might as well pay the Y to stay there.
Well, if the Y would be, well, what was the Y's take? If indeed it was 19 grand at the gate, they didn't do any of the collection of the pines, and we gave them 10, so they netted 29,000 for. I don't know how much it cost them to staff it this past year. If I recall correctly, it was somewhere in the 36,000 range, so that they were coming up short. I'm not. I think it's the town's responsibility, and I think we've been moving in the direction of moving away from the Y, manning the booth, and making it strictly a rental proposition. So I think this is just a continuation of that.
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean, we're gonna open the park in May, and so you might think it's 90 days. That's only when the Y is staffing it. They're only staffing it when they're there. But people are there at the park right now. The park's open year round. People are going there, they're sledding, they're walking their dogs there. We've talked about in the past allowing dogs on the trails, maybe not on the beach, so changing some of those rules. But I think you'll see once the weather warms up, if we're gonna keep the gates open, you're gonna see a lot more people going there. We just happen to only staff it certain times of the year. So it's up to you guys. I'll need to know what direction you want to go in, because May is going to be around the corner. Do you want to hire 6 more employees? Do you want to try a kiosk? Do you want to hire the YMCA? That's why I wanted to have this conversation first, so we can work it out in the budget, see what direction we're going in.
My concern would be with actually being able to obtain part-time seasonal employees. That's just one of my concerns, is actually being able to obtain those people.
And
Well, I was thinking of maybe, sorry, I was thinking of maybe college students on break, summer break, recent graduates from Massapequa. A temporary, part-time job for the summer.
Yep.
And then away they go to whatever afterwards. And we recruit a new crew for the following year.
I also want to point out the recruiting efforts as well. So that needs to be factored in, like the amount you pay me, right? I have to recruit these people. So in the time it takes to do that and establish a whole team of staff for you, that's fine, but it's just going to take away from other things.
Did we had, in conversation previously, once upon a time, talked about maybe making a campsite? Because there's people that rove the country, different parts, and they take care of things for that. I know that once you had said once that you had some ideas for doing that.
Yeah.
Electrical and
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
So you gotta have plumbing, electrical, you got so you have to advertise it, like, is there internet? Is there electricity? Is there water? And because we don't have any of those things set up, like where they're gonna go, how that looks like, I can't advertise it. I'd love to be able to. I think there is an area at the Pines you can make it work because there is a pole there if you want to set up electricity. There's a water source if you want to set up a well. But I just don't see that. I can't make that happen in May.
I understand, and that's not what I was asking for this year, but
For like
what if we're talking about this kiosk, so we do the kiosk. We see how it works.
Mhm.
I also understand your idea, Joe, but we're trading a $40,000 bill for another $40,000 bill. I understand your concerns. I'm not criticizing or, but what if we tried the kiosk and in the meantime, in the budget, we put the budget for making a campsite, with the electrical and, maybe a dump, I don't know if we need a dumping station, a septic of some kind, or, and see what that would take. And maybe, because this is wide open, like, it's
Yeah.
wide open, but we do need, you're right. You know, what I mean, it's already February,
Yeah.
so, I don't know, that's what I was thinking.
To say the ideal situation would have been that workings we talked about having seniors working for some of their tax money, that would have been perfect. But I know, look, hey, we're throwing ideas out there. I know it's too late for
We
this year,
could
but that
do
would have been
it. We
perfect.
can do
Hey,
it.
KJ, can you grab your mic?
No, the mics don't operate. We're,
I'm sorry. Okay.
You have to be loud.
I would say in the ideal situation is, remember, we had talked about, you can do an ordinance where you have seniors work to go as part of their tax property, off their tax bill, stuff like
Yeah.
that would have been the perfect ideal situation. I mean, I know that's,
I
I
think-
mean, throwing out ideas.
Or
It would-
local
it's-
seniors can apply.
it's a good idea, but I think, there's logistics to that, right? Because you can't have them, can they work the whole summer? Are you rotating through how many, again, who's recruiting and setting them up and you have, ADA and equal opportunity employers and accessibility and all that stuff, but so there's a lot of options out there.
And I'm still down for that.
Yeah.
I need to answer that question
Yeah.
before I can even think further.
Mhm.
Or
This doesn't look that like wide,
Mhm.
you know, like you said, like framing it into the building.
Yeah.
So that like really it's just the, the front that would get damaged if somebody damaged it, which would still stink,
You
but
could put a door on the motor that closes, like against someone or something. I think with the facilities
Yeah.
person we have, like we could figure out a way to enclose it or set it up that works for us.
but I do like Vicky's idea, of maybe getting some numbers for what,
National parks.
like a septic or, just a dumping.
You're gonna spend $20,000 to $25,000 all day long to set up a well, a septic, clear the land, grub it out, put in at least a gravel pad.
I looked at the site, so like the parking lot across from the Pines. You definitely need like an in and an out, because you can't do in and out on one side. There's just not enough site distance to do that. So you'd have to like clear another small road. Plus you gotta figure, I don't know how big these campers are. So assuming they have the largest, fanciest camper out there, I want them to have room to come in and turn around. So I've already looked at the boundary and had a surveyor out there to say, here's where your line generally is. There's room to make over there, but like what Dave's saying, yeah, it's 25, 30,000 easily just to get it cleared up and going.
Yeah.
You need plumbing, septic, electricity, a well, you gotta drill a whole well.
If we did do the kiosk with the $10,000 that we're always cutting a check for in the beginning, or end up cutting for the Y, and the generation of the $6,000 that's there in this first year, that's going to be paid, the $17,000, with the potential. I think $19,000 is a head scratcher, since the past 2 years were approximately $30,000 each year. So I would say, okay, $20,000. You could end up in less than 2 years, you can not put any money out and have the money in that account to do those improvements.
If I may, David, wasn't there a residence up there in Buckeye at one point in time? As you go into the parking lot area, immediately over to, I think it's to the right,
There was,
there was.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything is still operational there, septic or whatever. I know there's a derelict.
No,
building.
no, anything, it would have to be, up to today's standards.
Mhm.
I believe at one time Morris put in a septic for that building.
Mhm.
Where it is, I'm not
Mhm.
sure, so.
I could've
You don't
read
know
that.
that, but I do recall that he did that.
Yeah, I'm still interested in looking in the camper,
So-
work camper idea.
I-
I do think, and I've been scratching my head on that too and looking at that, it's gonna be probably a bigger undertaking than, than I can manage, right in this moment, but I like the idea of maybe starting with the kiosk. If it's gonna pay for itself over the short term, we could still work out other
That's
other
what,
options.
that's what I'd like to do.
And then maybe, maybe it works out really well. Maybe the kiosk works out really well, and then we could still do the work campers that, manage or make improvements to the park.
I wonder also about, instead of part-time employees, and here again, there would also have to be oversight, and I don't know what the answers to that would be, but isn't there like AmeriCorps and
Mm.
some other entities that actually look for opportunities like that? Or I'm trying to think of the word, so there's lots of options. But we always end up starting to talk about it right before it comes, so I don't know what the answers are. I respect your thought process and all that.
Mhm.
If we're gonna do that, I wouldn't want the kiosk. But I kind of liked in the thought process we had last time talking about it. I think it's a good idea. I'm not sure about the solar part, because if we did the solar-ish part, I don't know that we could enclose it.
You can,
Yeah.
basically, he's saying you.
We could
would
put the
do-
solar on the roof and run it.
No.
Wind down.
No, he said you can't do that. You would do a direct power one. You would plug it in and it would trickle charge the battery. So even if you had a power outage, the battery's still gonna operate for a few days. Cause that was
Okay.
the benefit of the solar, was if you lose power, it's still gonna work. And so he did come back and confirm that, yeah, even if you do the direct power one, you can do a trickle charge, which solves the power outage issue, so.
I would like to think that this would be a better operating unit than the gate at Kennebunk Pond. Even if it's the same company, it seems like there's a lot less to go wrong.
Town of York just bought 9 of these and installed them in York. So they just recently spent, I think it was like 90. Maybe they bought more than that.
But isn't it a little bit different than for parking on, parking on street parking that they put that in
You
there?
can use them for whatever kind of parking you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's a difference.
He said you could set the fee, you can manage the fee however you want to manage the fee. You can do it by minute, you can do it by hour, you can do it by day, half day. You tell them what you want your fee structure to look like and they will program it into that machine.
I'm just gonna give my opinion. I like the kiosk thing because overseer of the poor, I think there's a way to save money going forward each year, and I think ultimately that's our job. My opinion.
So now we're budgeting.
Yeah, so is this something, if you guys are, I can put it on the agenda if you guys want to take money out of the reserve and start going towards that? And then what we'd be putting in the budget, we have 25,000 in the reserve, we'd be kind of putting back in to bring it back up. Does that make sense? So you always kind of maintain 25,000 for whatever next, maybe that
Yeah.
goes towards the work campers, maybe it goes towards putting in that well, septic or whatnot.
So with opening coming up, And what did we say today? June 11th is town meeting, somewhere around there. We wouldn't be able to start until after June 11th on putting in the kiosk. So that's kind of where we're at right now is
Yeah.
So,
is timing wise. So if you want,
Can I interject?
yep,
Why can't we, you know, with the money that's in the Buckingham account, why can't we utilize that and just replenish it?
isn't that what you just said?
Reserve
Oh,
account.
so sorry.
That's
that's
fine.
okay.
I'm glad we're all on the same. It's
Right.
good.
I
So
can
how does
put
that work? You don't have to have a vote on that?
Well, I would put it on your next agenda, or I would maybe
Yeah,
gather. I might look for more quotes or something, or gather more information and start putting that on your agenda. It might not be on the next
Yeah.
one, maybe the one after that. But you guys would have to vote money out of the reserve account to cover whatever costs. Or whatever.
Can I make a request that we talk about it at the next agenda and then vote on it the following agenda so people have an opportunity if they want to come?
Yeah, if you wanna do that, let's do that.
Because of the last one.
Well, it's almost
Where's that gonna put us?
$20,000, so we still have to go out to bid. So if Lindsay garners more information, you still have a process to go through.
I just want to give people an
No, I
opportunity to
I
give
get it.
input.
So yeah, we'd be into March
The
by then,
kiosk
how,
itself,
depending on how fast or
the
not
kiosk
fast.
itself is 9,815 for the total system cost. So I'd need to look for more quotes.
Yeah.
Um,
Instead of a formal bid on that.
yeah, but yeah, I can. And then you guys have to approve any funding out of the reserve. And
So that makes sense to me so that we could have it. Get it
So-
going, in the spring.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll have more quotes by the 17th, you know what I mean? So that's why I was like. Maybe then
Yeah, that's-
after that.
Yeah, so
But
if we
I-
talk about it and then,
That's only a week and a,
Sorry, it's March 2nd is the first meeting, so which I'm gonna do my own Zoom. Since you guys are getting along, but yeah, that's plenty. It's only like 3 weeks away.
Okay. Yeah, I think I should have more quotes by then if I can try to reach out to different companies.
And without objection, if you remind me sharing the computations that I did. I know what the consensus is. I'm good with that. That's the way it goes, but just to maybe critique the arithmetic that I did as to projecting as to how much this would cost in an alternative sense. That's okay, Rupert?
So a few years ago, not with any of you guys, but we did have that same conversation as how much would it cost the staff for ourselves? And that's pretty much the number I came up with. A little bit lower, but that was, you're right in the ballpark.
I'll just
Joe.
may I
Yeah.
share this with her?
You're just saying when it comes up the agenda, so we can tell people the
That's all.
differences that we looked at.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Can
not voted
you-
on yet, so
No, that's right.
since we are looking at.
Can you get us a copy of that
Sure
so
can.
that we can put them all
I
together?
may have this.
Okay.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, so then that's what I'll go with that is gather some more quotes. Get some information on your next agenda. Go from there, and then as far as. I've come up with a ballpark, so 17,000, I don't know if you want to, for budgeting purposes, do you want to plan to add 17,000? So at least whatever you're taking out this year, you're replenishing for the next fiscal year. Like I said, it could go towards that, work campers or whatever project you got going on. Do you want to add more to the Bunganuck Reserve? I am looking into restoring the beach. So we're gonna do a wetland delineation and hopefully be able to get a NERPA approved. And I think the cost for the beach came around 25,000, and that was with some materials being donated. Like trucking.
So we put in this year, 25,000. And I had put in for next year, 25,000. So does that work for you guys or
well,
Is there
thoughts
anything
on
in
that?
in the reserves?
It rolls
Whatever the right
over.
word is.
in the reserve account.
Do you know how much?
Oh,
It's
yes,
for the fund.
yes, I put them in here.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, technically, the beach mitigation could take that whole thing and
If you're replenishing, the beach thing probably won't, I don't think, it takes about 6 months to get the NERPA approved. We may not be doing that till the fall. So you
So
may be in your next fiscal year by the time we get there. I
our
don't-
current balance is 26,000.
And then I have 5,000 donated from 9 WIC company.
Yep,
That can
You
go
got
toward
that.
Covenant specific.
nice. It's awesome.
Sorry, I should have
Donation.
clarified on the timeline of the beach too. That's not gonna happen anytime like overnight. That's gonna be a process.
But at least it's underway.
Yeah,
It'd be after.
Cause
season,
I think that's one of the things that I've heard the most from the public
yeah,
about, because adding that erosion mulch
yeah.
when the trees were being taken down. Nobody likes walking on that.
There's a lot of potential projects there.
oh, yeah. But I think this is a start
Yeah,
to move towards that direction.
I'm sorry, was it 5,000 from the 9 wicket?
Nine
Nine
WIC.
WIC
Wick.
company.
So you're
And then
saying
there's
we
no-
have, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No due date as to when those funds have to be expended. They just carry over. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
You're saying the 25,000 from fiscal year 25, we would take the 17 out of that, leaving 8 in there. And instead of putting 25 in for this year, we would put just the 17.
That's what we're asking.
Right, you can do it that way, or like she just put in 25 and just figured, just keep putting in 25. Cause,
Yep.
you know,
It's a net
there's,
effect of
there's
0 on your
the-
taxes.
there's the work campers, there's
okay.
whatever other project comes up. So yeah.
And then what we would probably do is any money we make off of the machine, create, like what I did with the Pines rentals, I created a self-funding account. So all of the money that we got pays the fees from dead of winter, like now,
Mhm.
when we're not bringing in any money, and there's still money there.
Now, there's 26,000 in there now, but I think because,
We
One of
probably
the-
had 1,000 left over last year.
no, didn't one of the committees do a fundraiser?
No, that's not in the fundraiser line.
Never mind.
You mentioned, is this, we only charge during the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can that 5K, if we need it sooner to start the kiosk thing, if that gets approved, can we use that 5K for the part of the
It
kiosk?
was specifically for improvements of the park.
Probably
Just a
could.
thought.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Would we have to clear that by then? Or that-
no, it
No.
was part of a grant thing, and if you didn't get the grant, they reached out to donors, and donors would say, well, here's some money for your.
So they wouldn't care. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the application was for making improvements so that it's a public space that can be enjoyed by everybody.
Would it make a difference
What's that?
using the 5K to go towards the kiosk earlier than?
Depends, I mean, so it
It's-
depends on what you want to put in
it's
your
all
budget,
cool.
because, you know, if
So-
you're gonna do the kiosk, then I also have the beach going on, you know,
Mhm.
that's gonna come later in the fall. So if you don't want to replenish any money, then that may mean that I don't have enough money for the beach in the fall. So that's why I want to know,
Yeah.
like, how much money do you want to replenish? 25,000 is gonna get you the beach, but if you want to do the work campers, like Dave was saying, 25, 30,000 for that.
So it's just a wash, you're taking from Peter to pay Paul type of thing. So-
Yeah, basically.
So maybe we should think about increasing it, but
But maybe we do a
let's,
3-year
if we
plan.
have, that's what I was just gonna, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Like, what if we had a plan to?
Mr. Thunder.
Yeah, no, I don't mind how it comes, as long as it comes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh,
So maybe it's the kiosk, the beach,
yeah,
and then
I
we
mean,
start working on the camp. And by then we'll know how much the kiosk is bringing in.
because it's
Yeah.
so big of a scope, the whole
yeah.
place, like, what are the priorities?
Right.
Yeah, I
And-
like that too.
And we start with the priority one and we do it and expand from there.
Because ideally, yeah, if you're bringing in revenues, that's gonna, then you won't really have to fund your budget, and hopefully the
Mhm.
revenues will do that for you.
Which would be perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry. So one of the things you brought up as far as picking up the trash, how does that work? Clean up?
Your facilities person's gonna do that. They've
Yeah,
been
they
doing,
Yeah.
yeah. They've been going out there.
I kind of like the idea of taking all the trash cans right out of there and being a carry in,
Carry in, carry
carry
out.
out. You know, I mean, all of the state parks are like that now, and I mean, that's another way to save money, and you can't take care of your own trash, then.
You need something to pick up after the people that throw it around, because I know I've done that, taking other people's crap out of it, but.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were gonna be the one that's gonna on the ground.
He's so fun.
Yeah, your
Yeah, I'll figure it.
facilities person spends a lot of time in facilities.
well, that's good.
I think it's working out really well.
Dead horse?
There, do we have a direction that do we still want to put it on the agenda? So we can
Yeah.
discuss it further and make it formal and, well, these,
And then for the budget, you wanna just replenish? Do you wanna keep the 25?
yeah, I would like to keep it at 25 at least, because then it's a little more than that in case something comes up, or, you know, we do have things coming up in the future, and
Yeah, I think kind of doing a project a few at a time.
then maybe at the end of the budget, if we're happy with the way it looks, or, that we could reconsider to even put it up a little more, because this has been a thing that we've been adding to every year, and I would assume that is going to continue. I don't know what comes beyond us, but, the town in general seems to be enjoying the park more.
Yeah.
And, I think it's a diamond in the rough there. So we should come up with that plan, and we'll keep moving forward.
On the March 3rd.
Second.
You were gonna do RFPs, the next one, talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think-
she doesn't have
Or,
to do a
sorry,
formal
that's not the right
RFP.
word.
Just 3 quotes, yeah. Cause I didn't realize it was under, so.
Done with that for now, for this workshop.
Okay, so I have a quick change that I made to salaries and benefits. Becca came to me, a officer came to me and said there's a conference for MBOIA. It's on page 7. So I added $630 for the conference. As she's talking to some of her colleagues, she's like, well, where did you find that out? And they said, oh, it was at the conference. And she's like, I really think I should go to this conference. So I put that in $630.
Not arguing with it, but do you know what that acronym stands for?
Main
I'm just
building officials. Yeah, that.
something associated,
Yeah,
inspectors?
Main building
Association.
officials. and the-
Building.
Yeah.
I'm curious, okay.
Yeah. Trip it over
it's
to
main
it.
building officials and inspectors.
Oh,
Could be.
that-
That's what it says. It's right on page 7. It says so.
Is?
Yeah, right below it, there's a couple lines down.
Oh. Look at
Yep.
that, you even highlighted it.
There we. Yeah, I highlighted for you guys.
Okay,
So I made that change. Are you good with that?
I am.
Moving Forward.
Is
I'm
the-
very good
the,
with
uh,
it.
No, this would just be for Becca. I mean, for code officer. I keep doing that
Why
today.
does it say 2 at 45?
So that's a different, that's for them to have the
That's
membership,
classes,
right?
memberships.
Yeah, that's
Thank
the
you.
That's the
membership.
membership, and then the conference is in the highlighted
Area.
box above it.
Okay, so I'll move that on like that. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
All right, so we left off on contingency.
No?
Oh,
That's
no,
the-
I did forget. I'm gonna back you up. So elections, You guys asked about the elections conference. I spoke to Tyann and she is going to, the clerk is going to, want to go to that.
Mhm, yep,
So you
Okay.
guys go with the election.
I am.
Yep,
Okay. I'm going to lose my voice.
Mhm.
Is that when I gave you my old one that I really needed back?
Huh?
Is this
This is,
from our
February 9th.
original one? The
Did
next
you
part
pick
we're
up,
going to,
did you pick up your packet?
no.
Okay, I'll go get it.
Do you guys send this to Dave? Send it electronically? We get it electronically as well?
You'd have to ask Jeanette.
Okay.
She
I'll do
probably
that.
does. I don't usually get it.
Because I'm guessing he gets something,
Yeah.
unless there's a pigeon that's
there's a tired
But-
pigeon.
Very liar.
telling him.
I don't know, we were talking too of putting like just a box outside. If you guys want to pick stuff up after hours.
I didn't see the email until
Yeah.
you guys had closed on Friday, so.
Yeah, me either.
Sorry about that, KJ.
Yeah, can you, email Dave this
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Would it be okay to just send that out to us as well? That way if we don't have to get in, so. It's the packet.
For email?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can email.
Great.
I don't know, it's hard to see, right, Dave?
Yeah, how,
No, I have you can increase it.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
I'll pick mine up and I don't need mine by
I
email.
just want to have the option.
I'll just add y'all and
I
if you want it,
Thank you.
have it. If you don't,
Okay, well,
that works too.
then we can,
Okay.
What's that? So.
Please.
17.
This
Yeah.
26 right here, this is what we're working on right now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so
Conference.
those are our new numbers.
The elections conference.
So like, okay, this
Yeah.
is 25, 26, but this says 27, so.
That was the one
is
that
what we're working
Tyann,
on.
I asked her and she said yes.
Yes,
Very
this
good.
is,
Later.
okay, I'm sorry, no, FY 26, she's asking, is this what we're working on? This.
Oh,
So
it
it
should
says-
say 27.
Okay,
I
thank you,
didn't
'cause I'm
change,
like,
I didn't change my heading.
okay, I was like, wait, I think
No,
I,
so it could be 26, 27?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a standard and I copy it over. So,
I was like, I think my brain's messed up now, because it also said 27, I was like, wait, what was I looking at? Was I looking at last year's numbers? Okay,
Good catch.
thank you. I'm
um,
sure my brain hurts.
okay, so general admin insurance, you guys already reviewed that. So I think we're caught up to contingency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know it's a sore spot sometimes, but, so you guys spent your contingency this year, 2,500, 2,400 on a well pump at the transfer station. So theoretically, if some other emergency arose, you have $100 to cover it. You know, things like the LED sign, you know, I put an insurance claim out there. They haven't gotten back to me. I don't know if they're gonna cover it or not. If they don't cover the LED sign, you're gonna have to budget for that. I don't have any money to fix it. So I just prefer not to call it contingency. I think you guys need to think about future emergency preparedness. What happens when there's a flood? What happens when something breaks? We're dealing with salt shed right now, and it's like nobody's ever really monitored the salt shed, so now the door is breaking, and last year it was the electrical panel was corroded, so we had to replace that, put it
Yeah.
on the outside. The
The-
lights went
The
out.
door broke last year too.
The door broke last year,
Yeah.
and we keep running into these issues where we're like, oh my God, we didn't budget for this, and so now.
unplanned would be the
It's
name for it, I believe.
Yeah, unplanned, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you
I mean,
Yeah, I know it's just a name, I get it.
have to get, you know, emotional or upset about it, but you want to leave it at 2,500, totally up to you, but
I think we're a multi-million-dollar business. This should be a non-lapsing account with $10,000 in it. That's what I,
So last year with the budget committee, that's kind of where they were going with the contingency fund. Is to, their request was to make it a $5,000 cap. So if we're thinking a
Hmm.
$10,000 cap, which probably is a good idea with I can't think of much you can buy anymore with $5,000,
I
but
think he's talking about like that it rolls over. So
yeah,
you
if we
don't
make it a
use
reserve account,
Um,
it always rolls over.
I mean, the last big issue we had was the nor'easter in April of what, four, I don't remember. And it was $114,000 worth of damage. So we fortunately got FEMA to fund it, but we weren't guaranteed that money and it had to come out of somewhere. So, you know, it's kind of like we had to sacrifice something not knowing what's gonna happen.
Whether we were gonna get it or not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and Vicky had brought up before that the Days Ridge Road culvert had been, you guys had a storm and it had gone out
Oh.
into the field. Those kind of things.
Down in the woods, remember that on Day Road, you could see it.
So we were talking a little bit, instead of, saying, okay, a contingency fund, maybe a disaster preparedness, with some sort of plan to it, that maybe we can move in that kind of direction.
Also,
The person that does disaster recovery assigned to the town.
So you have an EMA, your emergency
Right.
management agent. They help facilitate, so they don't really have anything to do with your budget in terms of disaster recovery if something were to happen. But they may help. That's your fire chief, by the way. And you have a deputy EMA who is appointed, Tom.
Yep.
And they just, yeah, the fire chief helps with like,
So if there's flooding, they help putting signs out, or, trying to think of what my EMA has done in the past. The Mother Day floods, put out the signs, find a place, call a school, see if you can open a school for a shelter, those kind of things, what happens in that moment. But then we need to take it from there and figure out how we're gonna get this stuff paid.
yeah. A lot of damage at Bunganut during that nor'easter, and so
Yeah.
your EMA person's not going to manage that.
I'm not putting this conversation off, but that is one of the things that the comprehensive plan is also addressing. which-
Oh, is it?
They're-
Is that right?
They're addressing a resiliency chapter.
Like I said, I'm not putting off this conversation, but I think that's also one of the things. Just because I hate to throw a number at something and have no input.
Yep, no, I get it.
I understand all these scenarios that are coming on and, and,
Well, we're asking,
we-
we're bringing the idea, just like Joe,
but
bringing the
absolutely.
idea to the table.
we also have the ability to, when things come up that we need money, that we have special town meetings to ask people for money for specific things that are already needed, or, and there's usually a number associated with that.
And I'll just also add that when you have a special town meeting, there's requirements for notifications, posting a warrant and approving it and doing the budget meetings, and the budget committee has to do, their
It's
input
not
on it.
quick.
So you're looking at, and it's tight, you might be able to pull it off in 2 weeks. And that is super
Super tight.
duper. If everyone was like, yep, I could do that Thursday. Yeah, 2 weeks is the fastest turnaround and not always likely. So you could be looking at waiting a month to approve funding when your town hall building's flattened, right? A tornado came and flattened your building. Do you want to wait a month to approve funding? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Something-
that account wouldn't,
Have bigger problems.
that account wouldn't cover it anyway.
Well, you would need temporary,
You have to have.
temporary place to work.
Right.
I had a situation where in an old building, old factory building, where the heat pipes, the oil for the furnaces were actually on the outside of the wall. And came in one morning, the fire alarms are going off, it's freezing outside. My sister worked on one end, I worked on the other. I said, well, they're letting them in on my end, let's go. I go into my end, and the senior VP runs up to me and asks where my bosses were. And I said, well, they don't usually get here this early. He goes, well, come with me. We went up the back stairwell and came down, were met with 2 firefighters. And he says, I have $6 million sitting on somebody's desk right now, and I want it. And he said, well, you're not going in there, because it was actually my office where I worked that got oil all over the place. And he said, well, you're not going in there right now. He said, well, are you going to take responsibility for that $6 million? And he said, oh no, I'll let one of you come. So he came back with a stack of checks, but then I needed a place to go. I'm like, I'm not going back into J-pop with this money sitting here. So luckily we were big enough. We had a conference room. We moved in the conference room, got set up temporarily, got stuff out the door, and made it happen. But if your town hall flattens, we would need a temporary place.
So I have a question. What is I agree that I think a larger contingency fund is needed, 3 times the amount. I could see 5,000, but anyway, what is the process when you need to get something out of contingency? What is that process?
You guys have to vote it.
So,
Yes.
board vote.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay. thank you.
Yeah,
If I may, if we call it disaster recovery, I think that might be limiting.
Yeah,
And it
I
would
agree.
obviate the 2,400.
yeah, I was gonna say that
So
too.
maybe something in terms of names, emergency expenditures fund, something like that.
Unplanned.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what,
That-
we were
yeah.
having the same discussion at fire commission the other night, so. Some of
Along
them-
those lines, Dave suggested the 10 grand, a fund that would be based on what Jeanette mentioned with the budget committee, maybe a cap on that, no more than 10
Mhm.
grand. So that you replenish it, but keep it at that, so it just doesn't keep on building.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
How do you replenish it now? Because you said there's only $100 in there right now.
Oh, that's
So
Every
Sorry.
budget cycle.
So here's the background, because you haven't been here. Contingency fund has been around. I have the dates on there and what they were at that point. Has been around for quite a while. It used to be in the general fund. So what you didn't use at the end of the year would roll into fund balance. Last year, as we were all talking, we decided to put it into a reserve account. And I think it was actually somebody from the budget committee that made that recommendation. And everybody here said, yeah, that's a good idea. And they wanted to cap it at 5,000. So 2,500 from FY26 is the first amount that went into the reserve account. However, we needed that.
Right.
So there's $100 in there now.
mhm.
So if we do this and we budget for 2,500, just like how you budget for all of your other reserves, you budget amount and it goes into the reserve account. You budget an amount and it goes into the reserve account. That way you're not hitting peaks and valleys with your budget. So, oh, we need a new town hall. Here comes your budget.
But until July 1st, that's it. You have to go through the process of moving funds from one to another in a vote.
No, that doesn't happen because you did it at town meeting. So when you voted at town meeting to put $10,000 into your,
I'm talking about
Give me-
today. Maybe I'm getting a little lost. So if something happens tomorrow, you have $100 in that account. So
that's
Yeah.
it.
that's what I'm saying. So how do you, if there was an emergency between now and July 1st, when we have. next
I'm
budget-
following you now.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. I wasn't following you. Yeah, we have a problem.
Unless it was
Define
capital
it as
improvements,
something
right?
like capital
And then we
expense.
So capital
Yeah,
improvement,
it's capital.
no, capital improvement gets mixed in with maintenance and repairs, and you can't use capital improvement for maintenance and repairs.
It just goes also a way to, that if we do go this way, explaining it to us taxpayers. That's all, as a
Yeah.
taxpayer. Thanks for the information.
Yeah, and as you know, we're always here to help,
No,
and that's okay.
I'm
good with that.
Fill that chair.
I will teach it all day long. So yeah, that it's so you don't get into these tight spaces. So if something happens between now and July 1st and it's significant, we're going to have to do a town meeting,
Right.
and it's going to have to sit there and wait for a month.
Yep.
We won't be able to fix it right away unless we have some money that we can use. So on the April storm that we had, Tom hadn't had a chance to do his roads yet, because you can only do roads in the summer and in the spring. So he had some more roads he needed to do in the spring. Well, instead of doing those roads, we had to do the cleanup. And then we had to wait for FEMA to tell us that they would reimburse us. If FEMA tells me in a written thing, say something happens in April, if they tell me, say in June, that they're going to cover X amount of it, then I can take that and turn it into receivable. And then Tom gets his money back and he can do what he needs to do with it. This is just
Mhm.
to let you guys know how it works.
Yeah.
But if they tell me after the books close, then that's expenditure is gone. It comes in and it goes towards fund balance. So you get it, but you don't get it to use. Makes sense?
Yeah,
See if you book it.
so it's discussion for what we want to put in a contingency fund, is that the discussion is?
Yep, it's
Yeah.
25,000 is in this budget, so you leave it the same.
2,500.
I'm sorry, 2,500.
So,
Like, where are you?
2,500.
So you can leave it the same. Maybe somebody wants to come up with a really cool title and not call it contingency. But it's definitely worth having a conversation over.
I mean, you add a contingency into. There's always a contingency. If you're doing a project at your house and a large renovation, you always put a contingency in for the unforeseen circumstance. So it's the unforeseen circumstance fund. And
Unforeseen
for-
circumstance, but
Yes.
Anybody want to throw out a number we can start discussing, or?
Want to
I
say,
know Dave said 10.
want to say 5 with the notion that 10 would be the cap. Anything that left that is not used
Yeah.
in the subsequent, in the upcoming fiscal year, carry that over. You would add to it, but again, maximize it at 10,000. Just throwing it out.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, same.
What do you think, Dave?
I think we're a multi-million-dollar business. We should have $10,000 in a contingency fund.
An
so do you want to do that in steps? or
unforeseen
for fast
circumstance fund.
Unforeseen circumstance fund.
Oh, thank you.
move? So is your thought to do that in a couple of different steps, or you want to do it in one fell swoop? What's your-
I think you just do it. I mean,
Bless you.
Woof, that came on suddenly.
I think, just rip the Band-Aid off and do it. I understand it's money, but let's get it on the table. Let's look at it. We're going to be debating it with the budget committee anyway, and we can, sharpen our idea. And maybe it is going to be 5,000, but I personally think it should be 10,000. There were things, that sign out front should have been fixed long ago.
I agree.
I mean, there are things that we're doing at Buckernut that's gonna generate money. And in the future, a lot of these little things are gonna be paid for through what we could make as a town at Buckernut, and anything to do with income that we can be creative in doing. So I'll say it again. I believe you start at 10. If you end up at 5, you end up at 5.
Okay.
But you paid whatever $40,000 for the Y to do it since 2019, since I've been here, and nobody thought anything of it, and it's just, to me, that without having all our children there, we subsidized a program, and now we're trying to do it, and we've been trying to do it so that the income comes back to the residents, or at very least goes into an account that they don't have to be burdened with that anymore. And this is just one more step of it. A contingency is to pay for the unforeseen things and not let the people go, why is that sign out for 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get behind Dave's way of thinking. I mean, let's
Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Everybody grab a corner. Let's go.
Yep.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say we're gonna move it to reserve accounts. Come up, call it unforeseen circumstance or whatever we come up with. And we'll put $10,000 in.
Still have in mind to start with 5.
Same.
I'm with you, Dave, but I think it'd be a tough sell to take an item that it's tough enough to double it. To quadruple it, I think be tougher still in terms of getting that through the town meeting. So I would again, $10,000 cap, but $5,000 per this fiscal year. That's just I guess the minority report here. Okay.
Yep.
Not necessarily,
Yeah.
I'm open to
I mean,
hearing everybody's
yeah,
opinion, so.
because I do think that the budget committee is gonna come back to us and be like, no way.
Well, even I'm,
So,
no way.
you
on the
know,
10th, but
So
that's
if
me.
we end up at 5, then we're back where
Well,
we were.
At town meeting, your residents can lower it,
That'd be
you
kind
know?
Yeah.
Like Dave's saying, you could put in 10, and if they say 5, then that's 5.
Well, we gave our opinions and whatever the consensus is, so
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Okay, let's move on from this one.
What was the consensus?
What was the consensus?
Yeah, what was the?
I got a 10.
I
right?
got
There's 3 of you
3
for
for
I don't know,
10,
I felt.
I
2
don't,
for 5.
I could go either way. I understand all the sides, so.
Well, I'll move it and we can hash it out again at our next meeting. How's that sound? Because it'll be in
Sounds good.
reserve.
I'm sorry,
I mean-
forever.
Let's.
No, that's okay.
At least 5.
All right, I'll put 10, we can hash it out again. All right, animal welfare. We've gotten the contract back for the shelter. I put $500 in for the clinic. And I left the mileage the same. They're not hitting it, they're hitting it, they're not hitting it, they're hitting it. It depends on what's going on. So does everybody understand the clinic part of it?
No,
Okay,
Supplement 19?
excuse me, yes, supplemental 19.
I'm sorry to backtrack. You mentioned that, let's go with 10, we'll go back to it. I'd be more comfortable with it. Let's say 5, we'll go back to it later. And just,
Okay,
okay, if you don't
I
mind,
can do
folks.
that.
Otherwise, we can-
Well, yeah, just so you know, we're not done with unforeseen circumstances, just moving it, and so we'll have that conversation. again.
Yep,
Yeah,
Mhm.
so is this the first time this shelter has ever been discussed?
Mm-mm.
Like,
No,
this
it's
policy,
not
is it one of the old, like,
so forever,
heard of it before?
what we've done is if there's an animal that's say running around, we can't find the owner, they take it to AWS at the shelter. The shelter charges us what I put there, 146 per capita
Mhm.
for those services.
I
So-
gotcha. All right.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's what happened.
Thank you.
Now, if the animal's injured, the AWS will not take the animal. We have to take them to a vet.
Mhm.
Same thing if we had an instance where a dog was running around, bit somebody, could not find the owner, could not determine whether it had its rabies shots, so that had to be tested. So that's the clinic portion of that budget.
Thank you.
Do we know what our capita is?
Yeah, it's
It's in that paper.
4th page.
4,661.
Yeah, so that's animal welfare. Fire department says
Yeah, it's,
that it's 4655. So,
I think if you take it off the old census or the new census,
That's the 6 people that aren't on that one, that are on this one.
well, that's $6 and about $10.
well, in our favor with the.
Put that
shelter.
$10 in the consent.
Oh, yeah, well, let's do that.
okay, so 8805.
Mhm.
Let me know if you want me to move it on.
Yes.
And what's the 6805? And then you said, right, okay, I see that, but,
All right, 16.
And
yeah, I saw that.
And
But what's
then,
the 8 number?
another 500 on top.
You have to
of
give me
that.
page numbers.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
And
Hey, you guys have had
Thank you.
experience with this. Thank you.
that's good.
We just fake it till we make it.
No, that's why we have the conversation.
Mhm.
So here's where it starts. So you
Oh, here it
have,
is, gotcha.
this is the shelter.
Yep.
This is the clinic. And this is the mileage, because we have to pay the mileage.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm down.
Yep, good.
All right, moving it on.
What number is that?
General assistance, we have a meeting, so I want to skip that one for now.
Did we skip supplement 18? So we're gonna do it a different time.
Yeah,
19 was the AWS.
Yeah, that was the one we just,
No, right, 18 was fire department.
Yeah, 18 was fire department.
Oh, sorry.
But then we have a 23, I think, is fire department too.
Don't have, oh, I
yeah,
don't have my supplement.
Would you like this?
I think we really do need
I have
to
it.
dial in that number.
Oh, that's my fault. Sorry, Dave. I don't have my list with me.
It's okay.
So, social services. You have an actual list. supplement.
Yeah.
Mm.
I didn't, I'm
Got.
sorry.
It's like
That's, is it even on? the list?
Lifeline,
Number four.
caring, supplements are all
Yeah.
here and there.
No, I can do it in here. Hang on.
Well, we did the animal welfare one.
Yes,
Which one
that's-
were we going to next?
Right below.
I'm skipping general assistant,
Okay.
Okay.
and then,
Going under health and human services.
so social services. Okay, so we have Life Flight, that was before I started the supplement list. I didn't write it on here. We have supplement 13 for Caring Unlimited.
So what page? This guy? I'm
Um,
sorry.
That's okay. I want a bigger desk. So it starts on 19
Thank you.
and then it goes over to 20.
Normally you get this.
I know. Taking all my space.
Lifeline, okay.
We need to get you guys a bigger table and put something in the middle of it, so you can have one side.
And that,
19 to 20.
19 to pages 19 to 20.
I'm getting there.
It's Life Flight. I don't know what the supplement number is, Dave.
Okay.
Then it's supplement 13 for Caring Unlimited.
12 to lifeline.
Okay, 12 for Life Flight. Thank you,
Oh, you're
Joe.
looking at-
And then supplement 14 for the Veterans Memorial Association. And then supplement 15 for Sweetster. Supplement 16 for York County Community Action. Supplement 28 for Center for Wildlife. And this is as they came in, so.
Yeah, sure.
Supplement 29 for Maine Public. And supplement 30 for Day One.
Well, there it is. Look at that.
Right.
You guys need a repeat on that?
No, I'm just trying to
Okay.
get there.
Yeah, I had up to 16, then it was up 18.
16. Then comes to 28,
Something going on. Yeah.
29, and 30.
Yep.
Got it.
I think that we have had this go around
Mhm.
several times every year.
We do.
Historically, you guys have gone with Life Flight.
And Life
Yeah.
Flight is what we use. That's where I was going. That,
We have not, when I first came here, we weren't doing anyone. And then, we had that bad motorcycle accident down by New Dam Road. And is it Old Northburg Road? And they assisted there and they assisted several other places that same year. So they chose that they wanted to supplement Life Flight because they do come here, they do respond. They not only have the helicopter, but they also have an ambulance. And I believe they've also came and answered with the ambulance when we're overwhelmed.
Well, we've been
And we've only done Life Flight.
Mhm.
It's the only one ever asked that.
Yeah, I'm in favor of still just doing Lifeline.
The Life Flight.
I would be, I'll ask my colleagues to consider supplement 13 Caring Unlimited. And that they do provide information that they have provided assistance to Lyman residents. And as pointed out some time ago, when we had a police report from the sheriff's department, that one of the incidents that they sent two people to is any kind of domestic disturbance. It's a reality. This organization does, I think, very fine work in terms of assisting those who are affected by domestic violence.
Well, you could say that the Center for Wildlife, that 18 injured or orphan wild animals were brought there by Lyman residents. So by that argument, we could do that one. I feel like
And York County
People-
Community Action helped 200 Lyman residents.
people are going to pay their taxes and they expect us to do a job running the town. If someone in town, anyone, wants to give to any of these things, I'm not being cold-hearted here. What I'm doing is, we're a town. Any person can still make a donation and pay their taxes. So let them decide what they want to be benevolent with.
Which I do.
Why, I don't want to decide for them. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather just cut the whole thing right out.
I think there's a distinction between taking care of animals and taking care of people in need. And I think, again, just put it out there. Again, minority report here. I'd like for us to make a small contribution on behalf of the entire town for those who are in need of assistance. The others? I'll go to that one.
I certainly don't want to be cold-hearted either. I agree with Vicky. I mean, if you know, you think about it, if there's GoFundMe, there's a million different avenues, what we tend to do is start giving away people's money to things. I understand that it does help people, but we're given money. I almost feel like we're the state all of a sudden,
Hey, bingo.
I'd hate to do that. And this is coming off, I'll leave it at that. I agree with you, Vic.
Thank you.
Sorry, Joe.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
My perspective, a little bit different.
Yeah.
And
Understood.
as a society, I think we
I'd give
should
it
do a
all
little bit
to
something
them.
about that.
So I have 2 for nothing, 1 for Lifelight, 1 for Lifelight and Caring, and I don't know where you stand. If you stand.
I don't, do I have to have an answer? I
No,
don't.
We just
Lifeline,
need to
yes,
know
I
what
ha-
you want us
I
to
hadn't
put in,
really
but-
thought about it.
Yeah, and
So I'm just gonna say.
but I'm moving
just
forward
Lifeline.
to the budget committee.
So
Sorry, just Lifeline, because I haven't really.
and 2 for,
I'd cut the whole thing right out and let people decide for themselves and be benevolent for themselves, instead of us dictating who we're benevolent to for the taxpayer.
Get behind that, yeah.
Dave,
yeah,
did
I
you
have
hear that?
3 for.
Yeah.
For doing that.
Yeah, I
Like we said, like.
as much as I was for Life Flight, I think Vicky has a hardened point.
Let people choose where they want to donate their money. If they want to
Yeah.
donate Caring Unlimited, they can. If they want to donate to Lifeline, they can. We take it.
And
off
that's
of-
why I say we just zero it right off of here. That's
And I can get behind that.
what's the whole thing add up to?
8,824.
There. I think that's,
We got 3 to act.
I mean, we can't get $10,000 for a contingency that goes into dealing with things to serve the public needs. And we're gonna donate taxpayer funds that this may not affect any Lyman resident. It's not necessarily, it's going towards them. It's going towards helping someone. I agree with Vic.
I got 3. AJ, did you want to weigh in?
No, I don't.
And when we have the joint meeting, do we do their actual votes? That when it comes down to each?
So the budget committee votes when they go through the sections. And then because they actually have them, they're listed as a meeting. We've always been listed as a workshop, just so that we can have some discussion and get some idea of where we're going. And when that's ready, we set
then
over.
we,
Then we have the joint meeting, where you guys can hash out your differences. And you guys will actually vote.
yep,
If the budget committee needs to revote, they'll rescind and revote.
yep, that's how we've been doing it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So the next one is roads.
So we're gonna axe that. Is that what
Yeah.
we've decided?
Yeah.
Or that's
So-
it. Okay, so the next one is roads. It's right underneath page 20 to page 22.
On which one?
Roads, page 20 to page 22.
Yes.
6.
Yep, supplement 6. Thanks, Joe. Hey,
Oh, hey,
you go right on. Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even try to map this out, so I hope somebody could.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
what?
well, I give you,
It's
okay, here it is. I give you.
I'm
try to
looking
give you
for it.
guys
I haven't even seen
everything.
it.
in the first part, the first packet that we got from last week.
Oh,
I
okay.
try to give you guys everything that I get,
Clear mine.
whether it's decipherable or not.
That's a ton.
But I
I know,
have
it's like,
that
okay,
with
so what
Tom.
This,
We went
and then
through
how do you
that
get there?
and put it down into this format.
Hey, which one is it?
We have
That's
an
what
annual
everyone-
budget questionnaire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could this be kind of put into, at least,
So it's
so the
the
columns line up?
questionnaire.
I'm sorry, this is.
Questionnaire is,
It's more of
It's-
it's an icebreaker. That's because, so years ago, Jeanette and I would put out to departments and say, okay, what do you want in the budget? What are you thinking? What do you need? And we would kind of get these deer in the headlights, I don't know. So the questionnaire was designed to break the ice and get them
Get
thinking
people thinking.
constructively. But we sit down with each department and talk this through before any of it goes in here, so.
yep.
So we have Desert Brook on this sheet, but we don't have Desert Brook on his.
That's right.
Because Desert Brook was a carryover from the previous year.
From this year that we're in right now.
Nope, from,
26? Okay.
I don't know. If we had to ask Desert Brook on 26, 27, no, 24, 25.
But she's saying. You're saying it was on this, is it on this year's?
Yeah, it's on this
budget?
sheet, 48,000.
Under 2026.
On page 21.
She's saying it's not on this page.
Yeah, it's not on this one.
Mhm.
So we have New Road, Clarkswood,
Yep.
Howitt, and Lords.
At one point, Desert Brook got cut. So when we went through this sheet, I asked Tom, where are we gonna put Desert Brook? And we added it back in. That's why it's
So
first.
it came after that.
Yeah, it came out of 24, 25. We're in 25, so 24, 25, we had to axe it. That's why you don't see it on the one on the bottom.
Were there any overruns last year on the road budget?
No, I think he
No.
used up his budget.
Hang on. So I gave everybody a copy. I think he had $900 left. In your packet, you have the prior year expenses. Gee. Roads had $54.08 left.
So. I
That's a
know
good budget.
In talking with the road commissioner, I mean, he's looking at areas that, you know, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. He doesn't want to wait until it's in total disrepair, because that will ultimately cost you more money. So some of, I think last year we were looking at stuff, we did cut out some roads.
Yep.
Because it was like, you know, you could wait a year or two on that.
Yep.
We really need to address these ones.
That might be where it came from.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I think this year he was like, oh yeah, Desert Brook, I need to.
So in order to lower the budget last year,
Yep,
we
that was one of the
cut
places,
roads. Yeah,
right? Cause you guys came back
Yep.
to us and said, we looked at it and
this is where we.
this is where we think that
Yep,
it could come, so.
and we're gonna do that again this year too.
Okay, so is Brock Road ditching, is that the same thing?
That's not on.
That, is that a
Um,
carryover from a previous year? I'm just trying to
No,
figure.
Brock Road ditching, he needs to get that done. So as, even though it might not be on here, Amber, as we're talking about the budget, it comes up. So.
I'm just trying to make sense
Mhm.
of. Like, there's a circled number.
Two circle numbers.
Yeah, I'm like, where do I place
Amber, I
it?
had to, get down to this,
Yeah, I dropped
23,
my,
39,000.
Um,
Then I had to
Added the-
decipher that as a 48, okay. And that's 536,000 plus. Put those two together and you get this circled one. I don't know what these guys are doing here. And the salt stays the same. Where is salt mentioned in
salt is in your buildings and ground,
okay,
under plowing.
okay.
all right.
So he brought this in as his worksheet. We sat down, we discussed everything. And I took this, put it in here, and anything else that we needed to do. Are you following me?
Mhm.
Okay.
So is there a big plan to do a lot of bush cutting and tree trimming that it's from 18 to 45?
Yes,
Okay.
tree trimming.
Yep,
Because we're getting calls, go down the road, the trees are hitting the trucks, smacking on the trucks. We need to start paying attention to that now that the roads are getting cleaned up. The branches falling in when there's a storm, falling in the middle of the road. Yes, he's planning on souping that up. Because the roads are starting to get pretty much done.
So why aren't they under the 2027 requested instead of under 2026 budget?
What?
Well, the numbers we were just going over is under the 2026 budget versus the requested for 2027. I read that
New
right?
road, 21.
Right, am I under the right column?
Yep.
Okay. See, 2026 budget.
No, this is, so these, there's nothing in this column.
Okay,
There's
that's
no
confusing.
heading.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no heading. So these add up to this.
Mhm.
This is just your detail.
Okay, yep.
I'm sorry.
No, that's where I got confused.
So,
That's why.
There's no heading here.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm good with it.
Just like for the numbers to literally add up.
3 months, okay.
are you doing the math?
You got it.
So there was conversation after this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the numbers won't add up because we came back and had another conversation.
Well, on this, it should on this, so.
Yeah, it adds up on that.
It should. This figure here, everything that I've checked off, is also on here. But just adding the Brock Road ditching and the Desert Brook, I'm not getting the bottom line 904. So I'm obviously missing something. Oh,
Striping, sweeping,
road signs,
That's in the science budget. Under buildings and grounds.
okay. Well, okay. That was included in this figure.
Well, these are
Okay.
things that he oversees,
Mhm.
but they might
Okay.
fall under different budgets.
Well, just as a request next time. Things separated into the different line items.
The
Got
format,
it.
yeah.
I just knew.
We can do that. We can request that.
Yeah.
And we'll put that down.
When things are completed, do you get an update on the road commissioner reporter?
So things are the road commissioner, let me put it this way, he's part-time and he works seasonally. So in the winter time, he's not really completing anything because you can't do road work. So typically, you know, maybe a little bit in the spring, depending on the season, summer ramps up and then fall ramps up because you're typically trying to like finish up whatever you can. So that's where his activity is the most, but he's a part-time employee. He's not working full-time. And he's also kind of a part-time seasonal employee. I mean, in the winter, he answers phone calls.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an issue with plowing, if a mailbox gets hit, he handles that sort of stuff. But, you know, aside from maybe a major storm, he might put cones out, but he's not really doing anything right now. But once we get into like summer and fall, yeah, he usually comes.
He'll call Lindsay and
He'll call
say,
me if he can't
this
get
is
me
what,
to do it.
this is what I'm doing on
Yeah.
this road and this is what I'm doing. And I got that sign we talked about last week. And if he can't get hold of Lindsay, he calls me.
So like Clark's Woods, that's the rest of Clark's Woods, because they did a mile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah, I mean, he
I
had
don't
what,
think-
I
That's
don't
the
know
rest
any
of
of
it.
it, like, it just, it's
I know.
the name on here, so.
he had. what,
I think that finalizes it.
Yeah, he might have only done a portion. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing Clark's Woods chunk at a time.
Oh, it just does it in there.
But yeah, he checks in weekly
Mhm.
at least.
Okay, closer. Okay,
My
That
app
up.
works, right?
yeah, yes. it is.
Good.
Okay. Anything else on roads? You ready to move it forward to budget committee?
yes.
Okay. What?
Moved forward.
To the budget committee.
Oh, yes. I thought you said something like was on my list, and I'm like, what? I don't see.
Um. So buildings and grounds is not completely done. We're talking, and we have we're doing some checking on plowing of the town hall and what we're gonna do with waste. So Rusty and our contractor are gonna have some discussion about picking up the garbage and who's gonna be doing what and how that's gonna be doing. We can go through the different sections if you want, and then I can come back, or we can move on to other pieces that are ready.
I'm gonna go to the budget section.
So-
You don't want
Okay.
to. That way you don't have to backtrack. What I said before.
No, I get you. I'm just asking.
Good with that, Dave?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so transfer station, beginning on page 33 to page 36. So what I did here was I took our contracts on contract for hauling increases, contract for Eco Main increases. I I did bring down our tipping. I took a look at our sheet that I keep, not supplemental.
I have 32, right?
Yep, 32.
Yep.
So taking a look at the tipping numbers, they've seemed to have leveled off. So I went and I cut some of those tipping numbers. So if you look at your very first tipping line, which is on page 33,
Like less than by $7,000.
yeah. Well, no, by like 100,
So
100 tons. I'm sorry. So, yeah, definitely money wise. So I dropped it by 100, about 100 tons.
Okay.
Because of the way that the numbers are rolling in. So I felt like we could do that. Making sense?
yes.
All right, so here's where we need to have a check. Hauling. We're going to, in 26, 27, we're going to be in our third year of our hauling contract. Our hauling contract calls for it to increase to $220 per container, up from 205.
Same company.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a 3-year contract, I believe.
Yeah. And that's supplemental 25, 26.
Any
Oh.
complaints this year? Any problems and complaints?
yeah. I think we're doing all right. Probably when you renew the contract, I'm gonna put it in a fiscal year, so we don't run like halfway.
Good, that's a great idea. Since we run in a fiscal year.
So 220,
Yeah, so there's just kind of an unknown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I know what July to March will be. July to the end of February. What we don't know in the wild card is March, April, May, and June. So right now they're 220, they're gonna be at 220 per container. So I put 365 in there to kind of cover our bases. Mhm.
65?
365 per container. A couple of years ago, we checked with other towns that had different vendors, and that's what their number was. So I would imagine that their number is higher now, given some of the bigger vendors. I have no idea where we're gonna land.
mhm.
So up by a third.
Could very well be.
Well,
Oh. And that's because it was set 3 years ago.
Well, yeah, and
well apart.
he's always given us a deal. So 3 years ago, if you were a neighboring town and you had Casella or Troiano or one of those people, they were paying 365 at that time. I just would feel more comfortable with 365 a haul than to say, oh, it's only gonna be 275 for those 4 months, because we just don't know where it's gonna be.
And
I
we have
think
to
it's a
we have to
risk.
Renew this contract as well then? It's just the end of 3 years on the next contract.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that one too. And she
Yeah.
just said she's gonna put it on a fiscal year.
Yeah, I think we were just mirroring whatever, it was a
Yeah, it's
multi-year contract.
and it's just been
Yep.
mirrored as it has gone along. Yep. So that's the biggest increase that you're going to see in this budget.
And single source recycling is going up a tad as well.
Yep, so
Yeah.
that went from what, 65 to 110?
Well, it went from one,
One,
recycling, it went from
Some-
67 to 87, and 87 to 107.
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah, but it's going from 80, I put it right in there, Joe, it's on page 34. So it went from $85 to $110.75.
with the notion that, the extended producer responsibility fund will kick some of that back to us
Hopefully,
based on how much we recycle.
yeah.
And I think, we'll appeal out there, folks. Let's try to recycle a little bit more because we're doing what, 10% right now? That's,
Wow.
that isn't a big cut of, whatever the money in that fund's gonna be.
Nope. I have noticed packaging lately though, and I've noticed some changing.
I
Some of
noticed
it.
a lot of changing.
Mine
in
doesn't even come in a package. They just put a sticker on it. Don't even put it in boxes.
Well,
I do get those blue packages, like those bag things,
no box in a box
a box in a box.
from
Although
Chewy.
Christmas time, I did have that. But it was one box with several little boxes, not several little boxes in a box, several little boxes in a box. So,
Tell you what, working at the postal facility for that short time, I am shocked at how many people order their cat box materials to come through there. Let me tell you how heavy that is. That's it's like,
Sure.
Whoa.
Second that motion? Yes.
no,
Sorry,
no
I
motions
put it
here.
you know,
It's cheaper. Oh, yes. That's probably good.
so as I was saying, KJ, that 4-month piece is the biggest jump that you see in this.
Um,
10% increase in the compactor maintenance.
Yeah, so the person who is doing it for a really good deal is no longer gonna do it. So we have to go out and find somebody else new.
Bummer.
Yeah, it really is, because he gave us a really good deal.
It's on the same part, just we move on with
Hmm.
it. We're still on the.
Yep, they're looking it over.
And we have a separate reserve account for the containers.
Yes, so we'll get there.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we started a reserve account a couple of years ago for the
Because somebody on the budget committee
yes, that was very
was
smart.
so kind to look into how old they were and what they cost.
That was an eye opener.
All
Oh,
of
that was
that, yeah, it was.
nothing that jumps out as a caution flag to me on this.
I'm sorry, Jeanette. Do you have a figure as to how much we've expended on transfer station so far this fiscal year?
I don't have that with me now,
Okay.
because I'm in the middle of merging those two books together. Trio and Town Cloud. So I don't have that right at this moment. In a couple more weeks and I should have that process completed.
I just noticing in previous fiscal years, understandably, we've over budgeted a little bit on transfer station.
Yeah,
For good reason.
so COVID kind of
That
came
was a
in and
variation. Yeah.
we ended up with like a $30,000 deficit, which we moved money out of the reserve to cover that. And then it was by the time that we saw that, we had already done the budget for the next fiscal year. So we were playing catch up for quite a while. If you look at the sheet, if you look at the COVID years, it really jacked up. So now we're looking at it's leveling off and we're starting to, we reduced it last year by some tonnage. And I reduced it again this year, Joe.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm just looking at the FY 23 in there.
yeah. Yeah, that COVID year was crazy.
Let's throw away everything we own.
That's what happened.
We got nothing else to do, might as well clean the house, right?
They did.
I didn't fall for that.
I didn't either. I was working.
I deemed myself essential and kept working, yeah, me too.
Is in the budget somewhere, about town hall.
Budget, yes.
Is it the,
It's in every reserve account.
just wondering if it was, you know, what other. We're gonna talk about people.
Maybe,
What?
town hall expansion.
Is everybody trained on the backhoe at the transfer station?
You were asking
No.
us, I'm like.
I'm like, I want
Buying it
to,
out.
yeah, yeah.
I can run it.
No, they're not.
I'm good with it. Other than the zone for me.
You guys ready to move that forward to the budget committee?
Yes,
Week
It's
77.
like 7:15. Sorry.
it's a race.
Do we need to put a fence between you two?
No, I cheated on it.
Okay, Parks and Rec.
Do we have supplemental or anything for that?
I don't think I do.
There's all something.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Doesn't.
Four?
Yeah, I don't have, do you have a supplemental number on that?
Four?
Yeah,
No.
that's the one, Joe.
Four.
Cool, oh, sorry.
What is it?
Four.
Supplemental 4, Dave?
Yeah.
It's like $100.
We know what this other line at 1100 means. I don't see anything else for $1,100.
I don't have 4.
I sent it to you in the first round.
Uh-huh.
I don't see this 1100.
Yeah, I don't,
No,
It's where it's handwritten.
yeah,
It says other line at 1100. Those are your notes.
oh, on my
Where'd you find
notes.
that?
Look at that.
The
Oh,
rink,
Right
Right up
here.
there. Flip side.
Yeah,
it's the rink liner and the rink pieces.
yep. You see it right on page 37.
Yep.
Cause she put in the programs, but she didn't put in on this sheet the rink.
okay, so that,
Piece.
okay.
Is the trail mapping app just something that renews?
No, it's new. It's a new thing that we're gonna
I
do.
didn't see it on here, I just saw it on.
No, that's, so this is a mix of
Another
things.
mix. Okay.
We have, the director of facilities and recreation. So he has some input in this. And then we also have the program coordinator and she has input in this.
So can you talk to that? So they're gonna use it to what, like map it out?
Oh, the,
But
you're
the
talking about
boards
the
and
GPS?
stuff?
Yeah, so I guess it's
I
a
haven't seen it.
low cost subscription and you can GPS map your trails and then we would like to put them on apps like All Trails. So then people, oh, here's a trail we can check out. Just get some more folks out to the park.
Yeah, that's $50
Yeah.
for the year.
Just, I go to their meetings, I never go. So,
Yeah, that was the facilities person is working on that because they're working on a few things.
Yep.
Small taters behind. Steve said it's skating, it's misspelled.
Ah,
Second.
Sacting. We're gonna do some sacting.
Excellent. Under communications. For Bunkenut. Internet at ticket booth at Bunkenut.
Yep, that's for the
Yeah.
cameras that we were talking about, putting those solar cameras up there.
Kiosk.
Yep. Well, we're gonna put in,
So it goes under here
Directions too.
versus the,
huh?
is this, so that's where it would go under and it wouldn't get added in when you come back with the.
No, it goes in here with the cameras, you mean?
So if she's saying.
No,
if
this
we
is-
install it this year, does it need to be in the budget? Cause if we're gonna take this 17,000 from the Bunganut kiosk, does that need to be in there?
Oh, is that included in that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then no, it's a duplicate.
Okay, pick that up.
Yeah, see how I put down this
Yeah,
lighting, I added and then sign.
yeah. So we'll have to incorporate these recurring costs into our 26, 27, once you guys decide what you want to do.
Well, there won't be a lot of recurring, so I think some she's pointing out you can take out. That you just crossed out.
600.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
but there is some recurring. So it's 2,000, so I have to put this in there. Yeah,
Be the same with the internet, right? You wouldn't have to re-add it for the.
yeah, I'll have to re-add that. If we go down that route. So we were gonna do cameras in there?
Well, you already have
So
internet.
two
at ticket
cameras
booth.
at eight.
Yeah. Okay. So the cameras, and we'll have to have a line for the internet. We looked it up,
The mobile.
the mobile router, that's what it is. We'll have to have a line for that. So I can remove that for now, but we'll have to put it back in there after your March 3rd meeting. When you guys decide how you want to move forward. Make sense?
Mhm.
And internet at the Kennebunk at Pembroke Pond. That's for the gate,
It's for
No,
the cameras.
the
Cameras.
cameras, my apologies.
Which have really paid for themselves.
Is the MyRec, Steve? Is that in here somewhere as well?
My rec is in general admin. So most of those programs are in the general admin budget. But with the IT stuff on hanging on the wire right now, that's not ready to go.
I'm going to cover.
Yep.
So if I move out
600.
the 600, you ready to push that forward to budget committee? Okay.
Yes.
Indeed.
995, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, we can go into reserves if you want, or call it a night.
Yeah, I'd like to call it.
You put your hat on.
I know, I'm going to, so I kind of like.
Alrighty. Good progress, guys, thanks.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank
So
you.
our next budget workshop is when?
It's the 23rd after the town meeting, so
Oh, yeah,
town
great.
meeting's at 6 PM and then after that gets done.
Thank you. I'm gonna talk to Chief. We've met twice with the fire commission and talked budget. So I'll see if he wants to do extra fire commission meetings. I have a list of fire commission meetings that I want to hang on the bulletin board. So
That'd be great.
Alrighty,
Well,
thank you.
guys.
you-
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Hey, lady.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Yeah, ladies.
Sitting with y'all.